This week on The Wheel, we have white celebs who don't bathe. We have defending Andrew and Chris Cuomo because Republicans have done worse. We have a lack of appreciation for Meg Ryan. We have White Lotus, really more of a rave on White Lotus. We have malice at the palace. We have adult birthday parties, Island TV, and Jamie Spears stepping down, plus a rant about sequels that destroy the stakes of the original film. Very specific. It has landed on White Lotus. Here to rant, our friend Guy Branum.
I sent you guys 7 things.
Well, what's on offer?
The options are White Lotus heat, breakthrough COVID, me looking at people's Instagrams, Instagram gunkles, all-inclusive resorts, and peach season. Jon, it's peach season. It's August.
No, I don't want to hear about peaches.
No. Jon.
Yes.
Like, I am a child of California's Central Valley, which my county produces more peaches than the states of Georgia and South Carolina combined.
Really?
And this is our golden hour.
I didn't know that.
You don't want to hear about it.
It seems like I did hear about it.
Yes.
How much more did you have? White Lotus. I choose White Lotus.
I'm just thrilled that we are all examining the fact that literally all of our vacations are colonial endeavors. That anytime we go anywhere to have fun, which we weren't able to do for the past 18 months. And so I spent like a good 2 months this summer just going places, being reminded that they are fundamentally exploitative endeavors where like white people demand that a place where we did not evolve provide us with pools and drinks. It's thrilling, it's exciting, and makes you feel so bad. Like, there is the terrible way that you watch something like that and it's like, are we doing anything productive by just holding up a mirror and pointing out how disgusting we are? Are we perhaps just being a little bit thrilled and excited by how, like, privileged and disgusting we are to be able to indulge in these things? I don't know, but it's really good. Connie Britton, what can't she do? And also, okay, 2 things. Mike White. Why I love Mike White. 3 reasons I love Mike White. A, keeps Molly Shannon employed. And keeps Molly Shannon doing things, like, we all know Molly Shannon can play Jack Donaghy's sister in her sleep, but Molly Shannon as, like, society maven, hello, yes. B, fucking AIDS plotline and knowing we're in safe hands. Like, when you find out that Steve Zahn, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched episode 3 of White Lotus, like an HIV/AIDS plotline where you know it's going to be dealt with in a way that is humane and responsible. And 3, nobody understands that there's nothing scarier than a judgmental 20-year-old girl, like a middle-aged gay man. Truly understanding you can have all of your zombies, you can have all of your, scary superhero bad guys. None of them are scary. What's scary is a girl who has decided that you're doing it wrong.
Completely agree. Love White Lotus. Not going to prevent me from taking vacations in any way whatsoever. I do like that there's a national conversation about being a good customer, which it's like kind of a new thing. Like, there really is, like, we're talking about the ways to be a customer and, like, in ways that we haven't before. And a friend of mine and I were texting about White Lotus. Everyone's fans, huge fans. Rich people are on the nose. You know what I mean? Like, the conversations about privilege and the white sun and not having advantages, all of that is very, like, of the moment and, like, on the nose, because those conversations happen and are so on the fucking nose. Like, that, it felt so, like, the what happens when this rich family is in their safe space is so funny to me. I do need to say, in the first episode, I didn't know what kind of world I was in. All right. And I didn't know if I was going to want to stay there. And now I know. And I love the White Lotus. All right. I'm in.
I'm very excited that they're going to have a second season with new characters. But what also fascinates me is, like, Succession sort of gave us a new, like, paradigm for an hour-long comedy. And White Lotus, I'm just so satisfied that it's a similar energy, but with punchlines. Like, it's, you know, it's not all just the actors acting through awkwardness. I also liked that the show tears apart everyone. Like, it doesn't give you the nice safety of, oh, but the poor people who work at the hotel are fine too. You're also exploring the power dynamics within their relationships and the way that people are using, you know, he's sexually harassing those around him. You know, it's fun and interesting, though, you know, not that it's saying everyone is equally bad. That nice lady who had her baby on the first episode, she's gotten out relatively clean. We still got that last episode, and whatever the fuck is going on between Natasha Rothwell and Stifler's mom, like, I still don't understand and am fascinated. But Jon, what have you done to avail yourself of peach season? Like, what have you done to say, like, there's only so much August?
I found out two things from you today. A couple things beyond the White Lotus. I found out that it is peach season, and I found out that California produces more peaches than Georgia, which I actually think is a real testament to the branding of Georgia, because yes. I did not know that. I did not know that about California.
California so far and away outproduces peaches compared to Georgia and South Carolina that, as I said, my home county, Sutter County, which, you know, could really rival South Carolina and Georgia when it comes to other factors. Sutter County outproduces the entire state of Georgia and the entire state of South Carolina combined when it comes to peaches. Wow. So, Jon, just feel, and you're looking for delicate give. You're just looking for delicate give, and you'll know she's ready for you.
Thank you for believing that I'm going to buy peaches. Like, that I'm going to go to a market of some kind and pick up peaches and examine them and decide which peach is right for me. Like, I've never done that.
How else are you going to get in a conversation with a woman in her early 70s? Like, you know, she'll tell you about how hot it is. She'll tell you about how expensive the peaches are.
You know, I literally going to make a little note to bring this up in therapy. Why won't I buy fruit? Like, what is it that I think is going to go wrong? Like, you'll never eat it. You'll forget. It'll go bad. All I'm trying to say, Guy, is if I encounter a peach in August, it will be in a pie. That's what I was trying to tell you, that it has to be in a pie.
Well, you have a beautiful garden and you live in California now, so you need to get in touch with nature. And also, in August, it's too fucking hot in California to make a pie. You got to make a cobbler. And you're saying, I don't have a simple cobbler recipe. And I would say, yes, you do, Jon, in my book. It's in a footnote in one of the later chapters. It's my Grandma Branum's. It's the one thing from Grandma Branum that my mom appreciated. And it's a very solid recipe.
I didn't realize that Guy Branum's book, My Life as a Goddess, which is available now.
Wherever books are sold.
Wherever books are sold, is also a cookbook.
It's also a cookbook.
Mm-hmm.
There's also instructions for prepping a possum. I don't give you a full recipe for a possum, but I just tell you how to get a possum to the place you need to start cooking.
We're recording all this, right? We've been recording. This wasn't... we're rolling. Sequels that spoil the stakes of the original film. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is when there is a movie and it's great and it's an adventure and it is so good that it becomes a movie people want to make a sequel of, both because of some combination of critical reception and financial success. You'd prefer if it was a bit of both. Let's be honest. Sometimes it's just the financial success, but there are examples of great action movies that have had great sequels. But in many cases, you have sequels that destroy the premise and the entire plot of the first film. For example, the film Aliens. Mm-hmm. This is one of the great action movies, right? You take Alien, classic horror movies. I would say a near perfect film. You then make Aliens the sequel. Now, there are people out there that will say that Aliens is better than Alien. I find that to be, at best, churlish, if I can say that, if I can use that word, if we don't have to bleep churlish.
I mean, Sigourney got an Academy Award nomination for Aliens, but nothing for Alien.
Which is an obscenity. But but she's great in both films, but Aliens is not where you get the Oscar. Alien is, it's amazing. So anyway, we're in Aliens, and we go through this whole film. They rescue Newt. Michael Biehn is there saving the day in some way or another, and they escape. And then David Fincher gets his hands on the IP. All right. And we get to Alien 3. And how does Alien 3 open? It opens with the death of Newt, Michael Biehn, and the robot played by that guy from, I think, a show called Millennium. What's his name? I don't remember. The point is, everything that happened in Alien 2 was about saving Newt. And then at the beginning of Alien 3, she's just a fucking corpse floating through space in the opening frames of the film. And Alien 3 does not get better from there. Another example. Terminator Dark Fate. All right. We spent Terminator 1 and T2, the Judgment Day, Terminator 2, on a very specific mission, keeping Sarah Connor alive so that we could keep John Connor alive so that he could lead the resistance against the robots in the future. And then we get to Terminator Dark Fate, and in the first few minutes of it, a Terminator wanders into a bar and fucking kills John Connor right in front of Linda Hamilton. Dead. Gone.
Why didn't they send somebody 4 minutes before that?
They never make sense.
That's why I don't love time travel as a plot device.
I like time travel as a plot device when it plays by a very specific rule, which is you cannot change the past. Then it's fun.
I just always get frustrated that it's always the most devastating and earth-destroying thing. Like, let's start somewhere and then escalate. It can't always be, oh, this is the most awful thing that's ever happened to the planet. Like, let's appreciate that those Marvel movies did destroy a fictional Eastern European country before they then killed half of humanity. I liked that. I thought that was escalation.
I thought it was strange when the sequel to the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo movie, it was like the first one, it's like this small, dark, again, Fincher horror film. The movie, I haven't read the books.
Mm-hmm.
Lock me up, guy. I haven't read the books. Then the next movie, she's like a super secret agent trying to stop nuclear bombs or something. I thought that was a mistake.
But John, is there some particular recent film that has raised this agita within you?
I happen to have recently watched, listen, I had a little bit of spare time, and I may have in the span of 3 days, just like kind of watched Aliens, Alien 3, Alien Resurrection, Prometheus, and Alien Covenant. I may have watched them all in sequence in the last week. That may have just been something I did. Honestly, can I tell you why, though? There's a good reason why. Okay. It's a very simple reason. I was trying to not watch Drag Race because Ronan and I have been watching it together, and he was out of town, and so I was desperately trying to stop myself from secretly spoiling Drag Race and then having to pretend and watch them all again. So he would have figured it out. He's smarter than me, and he cracks this. He always knows. He can. He's I don't have a good poker
journalist.
face.
Unfortunately, he's an investigative journalist. He'd be talking to people at your workplace. He'd be figuring this thing out.
I can't lie to him. I can't keep up a straight face. He's like, did you watch RuPaul's Drag Race? And I'll just be like, yes.
What if you won a second Pulitzer for figuring out that you were lying to him? I would like to add to the premise of your rant with another example. The Carrie Diaries changed how Carrie met Samantha from the established canon. Like, we had established canon, and like, you guys, there are only like 5 or 6 seasons of Sex and the City. You can just remember how Carrie met Samantha. You don't have to make her the bouncer at a club.
She was the bouncer at a club?
And she's like the door person or something. I didn't watch the Carrie Diaries. I have a friend named Nigel who watches the CW for me, and then I ask him what happened.
Guy Branum, everybody.
John, thank you for having me.
It has landed on adult birthday parties, coming in hot. Erin Ryan.
Well, the recent actions of a certain former president have brought adult birthdays to my attention.
Jimmy Carter.
Yes, Jimmy Carter, that drama queen, celebrating his birthday. No, I think adult birthdays and the etiquette around them has been something that has been slowly snowballing throughout my adult life. And I think that we are on a crash course with high maintenance nightmare situations unless we nip some of the tendencies of adult birthdays in the bud right now. Okay, so adult birthdays have gotten out of hand. We need to talk about them. Otherwise, we're going to have like people being forced to fly around the country, friendships being lost over these things.
Mhm.
We can't have that. They're birthdays.
Their birthdays.
Birthdays are the least important adult milestone holiday, unless your birthday ends in a 0, then it's kind of important, or you literally almost died in the last year.
Mhm.
I think that then
Good
it is
exceptions.
okay and appropriate to make a huge deal out of your birthday. But otherwise, or if you're like Jimmy Carter's age, if you're
Mhm.
over 90 and every single year is a gift, if every time you trend on Twitter, people post the Denzel gif, then you can celebrate your birthday every year. I think we need to get a couple things straight. First of all, the word birthday contains the word day. It is not a birthday week. There is no day week. It is
Mhm.
the week of your birthday. If you want to talk about things happening around your birthday, it is the week of your birthday. It is the
Mhm.
month of your birthday. It is not your birthday month. It is not your birthday week.
I don't like it when it's birthday official and then birthday parens observed. You know,
Yes.
unless you yeah.
Exactly. Like birthdays are not like Mardi Gras. Like you get the day. If you want to celebrate like events staggered around because your friends don't have availability, then that's fine. But please don't say birthday week or birthday month. It's very much a red flag. I also want to say that birthday celebrations, and you know, I don't like to shade the former president, but I'm going to, because like you, Lovett, I try to be a straight shooter.
Mhm.
Birthdays are not an opportunity to show off your important friends. Birthdays are an opportunity to celebrate with the people that you know and you
Now you've
like,
lost me. Now you've lost me.
that already like you.
Now I'm not following this anymore.
I just think that if you're going to have like a wedding, if you're going to have some sort of like a bar mitzvah, if you're going to have a life event celebration, unless the point of your life was to build an impressive list of famous friends that you love taking pictures with,
Mhm.
then invite people that you actually know, that you actually care about. Otherwise, it sort of defeats the whole purpose of a birthday. So
Maybe if you have good values.
yes, if you have good values. I think it betrays having bad values if you would
Mhm.
just use it as an opportunity to invite people that are like famous and cool.
What if some of your closest friends are famous and cool? What if that's just your life?
Then it's fine. Then they're like literally, they're legitimately your friends. Like something goes wrong in your life, you're texting Beyonce. Like, what's
Yeah.
up, Beyonce?
What if what if when you drop your dog off at daycare and they say, who's your emergency contact? It happens to be Beyonce,
I then invite Beyonce.
right?
And but I think that you shouldn't have your birthday list be comprised of people who are like your most famous friends. Like
This feels very specific.
Yeah, I feel like
This feels like it's aimed at a person in your life.
no, it's
Not?
aimed at it's aimed at people who have had
Put the
No.
name in the chat.
So here's the thing. Also, at this point, right now in American history, unless you are literally Jimmy Carter age, I think this is the year to cancel a big birthday celebration.
Wow.
You know, I think that should be
Wow.
the first thing on the chopping block. If you
Okay.
were thinking about having a birthday celebration this year, it's a little dicey. I
Let me
think you should cut it
just-
back. Yeah.
Birthday is in 3 days. Let me just
Is it
see
really?
if I can recall this event.
Wait, is
See
it
if I can
really?
get this back. Yeah, no, it is. It is. And I actually had the same. I have a similar. Why do I want to say recalcitrance?
Say it. Say
I
it. It's your
do.
show.
I have a similar feeling. And I feel like birthdays, as our generation has pushed certain other milestones back or out of significance, like the birthday replaced, I think, for a lot of people in their 30s and 20s, what would have been weddings and children, like you're with child, as they say. And
It's true.
a lot of my friends are having kids now, but that is late, right? Like, and historically speaking, it is later than was the norm for a very long time. And so I just feel like we're evolving customs to kind of keep milestones happening in like the years in which in like certain
Right.
cities, there's just going to be fewer kind of other milestones earlier, you know?
Totally. And like, who can afford to get married nowadays? Weddings are crazy expensive, and so are babies. I'm planning on taking out a second mortgage on the house that I don't own in order to have a baby. But no, I think there's nothing wrong with celebrating your birthday as an adult. What is irksome, I'm using that's my recalcitrant. Irksome is people who are super high maintenance about their birthdays and sort of think about inviting someone to their adult birthday celebration as sort of like a friendship subpoena. Like you have to show up or there's problems between the two of us. I feel like people just need to, unless their birthday ends in a 0 or they literally almost
What about
died
a
in the
5?
last year.
What about a 5?
I feel
What
like
about a 5 and it was a bad car accident?
Five
but
bad
nobody
car
never
accident.
had a chance of dying. Just like
okay, you know
like,
what? If we're
there's a bolt in the leg. There's a 5 at the end of the birthday party. No famous friends.
then I'll allow it. Birthday court will allow it.
It was serious. It was a femur thing.
I
right?
think it was.
It's nothing, nothing to sneeze at. But,
well,
they're
it's
not going
cool
to die.
to see people's casts. How many times as an adult do you get a chance to like sign one of your friends' casts? That's
like they're
cool.
always saying like, oh yeah, my car was totaled, but it was more like an insurance totaling, not like a, totaling can mean totaled or it can mean totaled. So it's like not like a, it's not a drunk driving commercial, but like it was a scary moment.
Right. I think, you know what? I think that if you haven't seen the friend in a long time, they have a right to get a little bit irritated if you're not going to show up under those circumstances. But I think under most circumstances, if you're an adult, you don't really have a right to like enforce your birthday on other people. That's all. I mean, and happy birthday, by the way.
And happy birthday to me and to everybody out there celebrating this summer. Erin Ryan says, keep it to close family and friends. Make like Barack Obama and keep the list close family and friends.
Beyonce, the dog daycare contact. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Erin Ryan, everybody. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having me. That was fun.
It has landed on Meg Ryan, suggested by Danny Pellegrino.
Hello. I'm so happy to be here. I specifically want to talk about Meg Ryan. Meg Ryan, to me, she brought so much to pop culture. She gave us so much throughout the years, everything from Sleepless in Seattle, When Harry Met Sally, You've Got Mail, Top Gun, When a Man Loves a Woman. I mean, the films are endless, and I feel like she was disrespected towards the end of her run in feature films, and I would like to right that wrong.
Okay.
Specifically, I think this is threefold. Number one, the love life. Now, around the start of the 2000s, she was blamed for her relationship ending with Dennis Quaid. Now, we learned later she gave an interview with InStyle where she said Dennis had been cheating on her as well. So she was the one who was blamed for the entire dissolution of that relationship when really we know now that it was twofold, right? Mm-hmm. Although they were still married, she did Proof of Life with Russell Crowe. They did seem to have an affair.
And who fucking wouldn't if you have blood in your goddamn veins? Proof of Life, Russell Crowe?
Right. Let's all remember a 1999, 2000 Russell Crowe. I mean, she's a red-blooded woman. And especially now that we know what was going on with her relationship with Dennis, we know. But back then, women were oftentimes painted as the problem in these relationships that were dissolved. I mean, whether it be Jessica Simpson and Nick Lachey, she was pointed as the one who was cheating. Even Nick Lachey had done a music video with his now wife, Vanessa Lachey, that was supposed to be a takeoff sort of Newlyweds. And that song was recorded while he was still in the relationship with Jessica Simpson. But all the tabloids, everything, they made it seem like she was the one cheating. Same thing happened with Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake. He profited off the end of the relationship.
You bet he did.
And she was just completely blamed for all of it.
In a way, we all profited because that song is good. Cry Me a River is good. We should face it. It's good. We don't have to like the politics now. We can have questions about it. And we can dislike the video. But it's a cool song.
I'm going to zip my mouth on that one.
You don't think, you know what? This is what happens with these left-wing ideologues. They can't, I understand that but it's still good art. All right.
I have a problem with the video. And also, I do think there's better songs on that album. I like I Love You better. If we're going to grab hold of one of these as like a really great song, that's what I would choose from that debut album. Or the song he did with another woman he wronged, Janet Jackson, from that debut album.
You bet.
But so that was sort of like a pattern at that time. And Meg Ryan was one of the victims of it. And then the other thing I want to talk about is her looks. Now, around that time, around the turn of the millennium, and then even when she did her sort of comeback vehicle, The Women, which wasn't the best movie. It's an enjoyable Sunday watch, though. I would argue that. But there were so many tabloids about what Meg did to her face. I mean, you can look at the magazine covers. She looked beautiful. If you rewatch The Women, you will not you will see how beautiful and stunning she looked. And I think now there's different sort of ideals that we have in terms of beauty. And so many different people are getting fillers and Botox and things like that. And she was the one who took the brunt of all of that with all of these magazine covers. And I think I would just encourage everyone to go back and look at that time and realize that she was stunning. She was perfect. And the media doesn't let women age in the way that they should let women age. The third thing is her talent.
Yes.
I don't think she's respected for how talented she is. And it's largely because those rom-coms that she did, a lot of people think of them as fluff. But the way that she's able to produce chemistry with not only Tom Hanks, Billy Crystal, really anyone she was in a scene with. You watch her in a scene with Deborah Messing in The Women, she could create chemistry. The way that she in You've Got Mail was able to exude sexuality without there being anything sexual in the movie. There's one kiss at the end of the movie.
I'm really thinking about Meg Ryan as an actor, and you're absolutely right about the lack of respect she gets for her performance. It's the hardest thing to quantify, but the most important quality that someone like Meg Ryan has, which is that movie star charisma. Just like when she is on screen, she is so captivating. And I was glad you brought up You Got Mail, because I do think of it, it may not be the best rom-com that she did, but to me it is like the performance in which every moment she's on screen, she is turning it into something interesting. What she does with her face and her her facial expressions, her hand movements, her gestures, her attitude, like every moment she's on screen, you can just tell that like this is a director and actor in sync with each other. The other thing too is it's like, you're right. Like she didn't get to, there was no acceptable way for her to age. And she is in those movies with Tom Hanks, who we all recognize as one of the most charismatic and fantastic everyman, whatever. And yet in every scene she is in with Tom Hanks, she is not just like holding her own. She is just as captivating, just as interesting, just as worth watching. And then you're right. She just disappeared. And I do think that there was some she doesn't look exactly like we expect her or want her to look. And so goodbye forever, Meg Ryan. No, you're totally right about that. I will say that I think like culturally, there was a period of time where no one could forgive Leonardo DiCaprio for not looking like he looked in Titanic. It was like, no, you need to be a perfect 20-year-old drowning man. And anything after that we'll find unacceptable. But I do think also like with Meg Ryan, like David E. Kelley has made like Nicole Kidman his muse. And like, hey, somebody out there, all right, with like a big Netflix deal or an Apple overall, make Meg Ryan your muse, all right?
Right.
It's time.
And she's really great in dramatic work too. I think some of the dramatic movies she did wasn't great. Like there's that movie When a Man Loves a Woman, which I love, but it's maybe not the greatest movie. But Meg has moments in there that shows such great talent. And she's just not looked at in the same way as, you're right, a Nicole Kidman or even a Julia Roberts, Sandra Bullock, who've been able to sort of get out of that rom-com box. For some reason, and I don't know if it is the Affair situation, because that was just like everywhere before sort of the Brad and Jen stuff. There was a lot of media publicity around Dennis, Meg, and Russell. Mm-hmm. And so, but I don't quite understand, like, what does this woman have to do? She's given us so much, contributed so much.
I feel like I am Christopher Moltisanti in Sopranos when they're pushing Wabistics. And it's just like, buy Meg Ryan stock. It's a bargain. We're pushing Meg Ryan stock today. Buy Meg Ryan. It's time. It's going to rocket. Right. Meg Ryan stock.
Right. Her and Bonnie Hunt. I'm buying in now.
Oh my God.
A matter of moments.
Look, if we're going to get into it, we're going to get into it. Let's talk about Bonnie Hunt. Where the fuck is Bonnie Hunt? A star. Bonnie Hunt turns being a tour guide in the White House for like 10 seconds into a scene-stealing moment. Every moment she's on screen is a fucking delight. You know who knew that? David Letterman. Every time Bonnie Hunt was on David Letterman, it was a dream, even when she had nothing to promote. Same goes for another talent, Amy Sedaris.
And just to piggyback off you, the best line in Jerry Maguire to me isn't "you had me at hello." It's "don't cry at the beginning of the date, cry at the end like I do." And that line was improvised by Bonnie Hunt.
A genius.
A queen, an icon, and a legend. Everything.
Every one of her failed sitcoms should have been a hit. Every goddamn one. Life with Bonnie. We all deserve a little bit more life with Bonnie. And honestly. Meg. And Amy.
Let's get them in something together. And while we're here, Alfre Woodard.
Alfre, Sure.
Where's her star vehicle? I mean, White Lotus season 2, that's it for me. You know, obviously Ryan Murphy, you mentioned David E. Kelley, like some of these people, they pick certain actresses like a Jessica Lange. It's like there are a lot of other of these brilliant older talents that we just need to start utilizing.
I completely agree. But honestly, all of this can't be on Ryan Murphy's shoulders. The man is doing his part. All right. Ryan Murphy is out there. He is out there doing this work.
He's on the front lines. He's on the front lines.
Ryan Murphy does the work. Ryan Murphy does the work.
A larger issue. We need to get more gay men who are able to produce, write, create their own scripted work so we can utilize a lot of these talents.
Ryan Murphy does the work. Danny Pellegrino, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jon. Thank you for having me.